wants to play it, but he's like, it is very greedy. Like it can scale, and using this as a flex works really well. But it's been a while since I saw Venomancer from the mid lane. I try to recall last time it was probably when XM played it. The Pushka did use sleep. He's in a lot of trouble here.
This is revenge for taking all their intelligence last game.
Yeah, mid getting the first blood will definitely help him out playing against Venomancer. This matchup definitely not in his favor, but also something to point out that there are a lot of melee heroes in this match, especially on side of Navi. You're playing against Mars, Ember, Veno, like even Muerta. It is difficult. Sure, you are going to be building it to Blink Dagger, you have Pick Me Up, you have Shard with the Monkey King, but still, these are going to be melee heroes, and I'm really excited to see how this bottom lane is going to go. Because Undying, we usually see it from position 5, some teams want to flex it to position 3. With Pick Me Up Facet, it does allow you to get the top of the heroes as well. Get maybe another decay, get the extra bit of a damage with that extra strength, and he just got a second decay, and that was a double decay.
Getting that double decay, maybe a pick-me-up into a tombstone with the decay, right on these heroes, that could be a big problem. My question for you is, what's the build for Larl Veno mid?
Spirit Vessel into whatever he wants to buy. I see Boots of Travel as well afterwards.
I wish I was allowed
could be
to click the 7 and see.
Yeah, I think it could be Hurricane Pike or something along those lines, because Veno can build into any item. Him being universal hero, pretty much everything feels good. But I think in this one he wants to keep the distance. And this is going to be the key item as well for Yatoro. Like once you get to your Maelstrom / Mjolnir, these are going to be the items that you want to buy. And here they come. Boom.
Wanting Mapushka again.
Only level 1 though.
Yeah, it really doesn't have anything else.
Maybe they thought that Creep is gonna die, so they immediately try to go for this type of a play, thinking that they're gonna get level 2, drop down the Tombstone. Bane usually is the lane bully, but so is Undying.
Yeah. Especially, you just get these decays, keep these heroes pretty uncomfortable in the lane. Both of them working with about 720 health. We look over top. And this is definitely a combination that can get kills for both sides, right? Avalanche toss if need be with a shackle. Right now, just the Avalanche. And then if you've got chains into a spear, maybe under tower.
Potentially, yeah. Also, Ember Spirit is very good. Oh, he needs to TP out. He's tipping back to base. Ember is very good at dealing with Shadow Shaman with his foul play, where this damage from a Flame Guard will kill you instantly. So you just need to stick on top of him in the AoE and he will die.
Passing over a Tango to collapse. Laurel getting a free lane while Monkey King had to TP all the way back. Monkey King was doing well. 14-7 to just 9-4 here for Laurel. Not as great as maybe they would have liked. They have the shackle, they get the Ether Shock, they'll take first blood, killing off Collapse. Or sorry, second kill for Navi as they got Mapushka as that first blood in the river. The first blood since then. So I correct myself, embarrassing. Don't look at me like that. 1,000 net worth lead here for Navi. You can feel the eyes, the stare. How long does it take Muerta these days to kind of be online as a carry?
This is one of the heroes that it never feels like she's fully ready. She's always like, I need an extra item. But I would say Maelstrom / Mjolnir, Hurricane Panic, and she's going to be fight ready. Kaori, he's dead.
This one not first blood. It is the first kill for Team Spirit. They finally get something on the board and collapse. As this Mars just having a little bit of help there with, of course, this Ember. I feel like Ember is moving over towards mid.
Especially with the items that he started with Boots of Speed. Only thing that Venomancer needs is somebody to stop the TP with. If he initiates with Venomous Gale, gets a couple of those right clicks, but he is getting scouted by an Ob. Zaru does have one sentry available. Let's see. He's going to be reading the situation. Oh, boom, drops the item. Get the extra bit of a heal.
Using that
this Veno. When she's able to push out Copy, but Copy's still getting a lot of CS in this lane. They're going to TP over Ari. Jump in. There's not much survivability here for Larl. They talked about it on the panel. If you're able to jump on top of this Venomancer, it makes his life so difficult. You're put in a spot where you're really not looking like you're going to survive.
Especially if he uses Gale before that, so you can slow them down. And them showing the heroes in the mid lane allows them to play aggressive in the top. Navi using all the information correctly. And already a 1k gold lead for them.
Looking good so far. I mean, Navi are on the trend, right? 2-1, 2-1 in their first 2 series. They're just following the pattern. This game has started well, and I worry if Spirit, especially if mid gets devastated, how much they're really going to have impacts going into the mid game. Look over from Maposhka. And this will be another one here for NAVI as they get this on Ari. And this is a support that can really output the damage at level 6 as well. But commit the Tombstone. They've got Ari jumping in with a rebound. And Yatoro will hit with the Boundless Strike. And they also get collapsed again. This is collapse dying to just the 2 heroes of Kaori and Garagi. And NAVI are overwhelming the map.
Did I see that correctly? Did he just use rebound off of the zombie?
I think he did.
And then brought zombie on top of him. And this is pretty cool.
Sleep. Maposhka. You don't want to be here. Mid at least. They will get the Shadow Shaman, but they are eating kills here. Spirit. Their lanes, their side lanes especially, are all out of whack.
Yeah, if they can shut down this Venomancer, maybe try to kill him one more time. This is a hero that can recover, but also slowing him down, not allowing him to put the pressure that he wants. Right now, he is putting a lot of pressure onto the tower. Very difficult to approach what he's doing. Both supports. Actually, Yatoro is in the mid lane. Level 4, making sure that they're grabbing this tower kill.
Now just level 5 has that Falcon Blade. Net worth, though, life has been golden for Yuragi as he's got that net worth up to 3,700. He is very far ahead of anybody on the side of Spirit. Very far ahead of the counterpart of this Muerta. And this is all going up Millhouse for Navi so far.
Yeah, the big one is definitely Tiny. Usually this hero isn't that involved early on, but he's sitting at 2-0 and 2, involved in 50% of the kills, which is going to give him a slightly earlier timing. Plus the 2 towers that, I mean, at least the tower in the bottom lane that they're going to kill, and I can see them also maybe rotating to the Tiny lane, trying to get another entrance to the enemy triangle as well. Let's see how they're going to approach this one. Because Tiny a lot of the times loses the lane, then he goes to the jungle, continues to farm up for the good 10 minutes until he gets his Shard, Echo Saber, Shadow Blade. But this time around, it feels like he's the one who can actually TP and will not feel too bad about it if they can grab a kill out of it.
Copy coming back over mid. Very interested at what this Ari Marcy is going to build. We've seen Marcy's just have a lot of impact once they hit 6. They get that unleash, and all of a sudden, you really do have kill viability.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
attack. If it comes at a point, especially where Spirit supports aren't really that farmed, it just exacerbates the problem and potentially makes it so Ari
this is a difficult one to get.
Don't pick me up, jumps him over, goes from a bush, and they'll hit the dead shot. That's onto Ari. But this is a Bane in trouble, disposed of and killed.
Even if he's not sure he's getting the goal, but he does have space in the
arena, but there is this giant circuit that can collapse. He's in trouble. The Ward gets the kill. They have 3 more heroes to make sure that they get a Tiny kill as well. They're going to grab 200 plus gold for Larl with that Serpent Ward.
You have a lot of Venom wards, but Shadow Shaman, he does have Giga Ward. Now Monkey. And Ari trying to make some kind of a move in this top lane, but this is a good chunk of gold that they just got. They got 250 from killing that Serpent Ward, and also managing to get 2 kills. Yatoro grabbing the kill for himself.
There's that vessel, so maybe
It's
more
still
opportunity for Spirit.
very early vessel.
Larl, despite the struggles, is second on the net worth. When I say struggles, but he died once. It's nothing too crazy. Copy, though. Getting away from that lane 3-0-1 is really impressive.
A little surprised that he did decide to put more points into Jingu. A lot of the times when you can't play lane with Monkey King, you can't go for like 1 point to Jingu or just completely skip it, where you are preparing to get some creeps from the jungle. But so far so good. Sitting at 4,000, 10 goes for the enemy carry. The reason why I like it more, because if you die once or twice, like your game is pretty much ruined. You can't really use Jingle Mastery on the neutrals.
Keep up, though. At least with what he's got so far, it looks all right. They've got the Tombstone again, and they will wait on this kill on mjollnir. Well, they jump in, and there's another one. Boom is really lighting him up this time, and he's going into that blade mail first.
Against Muerta, it is probably the best item you can buy before she gets a BKB.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Also love the 2 supports of Navi. These heroes, like you drop down Tombstone, you drop down Giga Ward, it is almost impossible.
Larl, does he have any way out? Not really. Giga Ward plays down. You have the unleash. Now you're ready to go for the arena. They will go for an Ari. And they out Ari. Down goes Boom. And Kaori. Good move over from the side of Spirit.
Rue also managed to cut down Monkey King from the tree with his clone blade. Nice play during the flight. The rest of the team, they were not ready to back him up. Larl dealing some really good damage in that previous fight. Almost 2,000 damage. Spirit's Vessel. Noxious Plague also did spread, I believe, on all 3 of them.
Really makes these tight, closed-in fights, especially within the arena, really brutal. And that's their answer, right? That's their big team fight. The arena with the Noxious Plague, especially when it pops.
They have a lot of damage over time. Slightly, like in the middle game, there's going to be Mjollnir procs, Maelstrom as well. I'm talking about putting the Mjollnir on somebody. Let's say they focus down Veno, damage over time from that. Spirit Vessel, Ember Spirit as well. And if you can keep inside of the arena, something that we didn't talk about is facet for Mars. He did not go for the Bloodsport, instead he did go for the Victory Feast. We saw Carry Mars also pick up this facet. I think this facet has been underrated for quite some time, ever since we buffed him, that allies are getting 50% of the values and also increase the numbers. Again, he had a great game too on Silencer, but this time on Bane, he got completely shut down. 0-6-0.
He's died 6 times, but I feel like playing sacrificial like this is okay for him. Spirit aren't exactly in the worst spot.
No, but the 2 supports on side of Navi are gonna start to scale eventually. While Bane is more about speed script, maybe you get the save with the Nightmare, but other than that, you can't farm. You really can't farm, not unless somehow they get Tormentor for you, you get the Shorn.
200 gold there for free off the Tombstone for the Muerta. And they're going to try and scout for some obs. So not going to find it with that sentry. Smoke used Collapse got that blink, so now he's looking for an opportunity to jump in. Can they find Yuragi? He's staying a little bit long. He's going to try and farm this next wave, which means they got themselves to jump with the spear. And Yuragi, Spirit Vessel, being dead. A good kill started by Collapse. The Spirit, they even this game up in the net worth.
Players are going to get something on the other side of the map. XP Rune will be picked up by Copy, and he does have Mage Slayer available. Good amount of magic damage on their side. Win probability, Dota plus.
Collapse! Exactly where he was at. The Wukong's man, Copy is in trouble. He'll try to jump out of here. Still within the arena. Jumps again, but off to the side, right where Collapse and Lano were. That is another great kill for Spirit.
Changing of the guard, we see this facet being used real nicely. It's just that he's got surrounded by way too many heroes. Now Team Spirit starting to put a little bit more pressure onto the towers. Larl goes set already on him. Now there's going to be a lot of physical damage against Marcy. Even Undying wants to deal physical damage with his Flesh Golem to spawn the zombies. Tiny, Monkey King, of course. Really early pickup on this Ghost Scepter.
Radiant's middle
The early
tower.
scepter.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Hex through. Caught, but the spear is there. Sleight of fist, searing change. There's the rebound and the dispose. Who's still able to survive. They did get this Aegis while they ended up losing their Monkey King. But what's the next move now that you've got said Aegis?
I could see them try to close out some of these towers with Giga Ward. It is up in 40 seconds. Tiny has good amount of damage, does have a shard available, so will not be losing that damage from the free throw. And going for Manta style, I do like this. Playing against Venomancer can be super annoying. You can't move in the middle of a fight.
Under attack.
So having a dispel mechanic of your own feels really nice.
No surprise, Miposhka is still just level 6, 16 minutes into the game. Not really getting a lot out of the game, but we talked about the fact that he is 0-6-1.
Got that one on the board.
Being involved in 100% of the kills. Now just one. 10%. They'll jump in. They've got the Giga Ward. There is the shackle and the jump with the rebound and the unleash. Another kill and a collapse. He's died a couple times now, too.
They're not messing around. Every single time. Kaori, also from this position 5, having a really good time. Blink Dagger is ready, sitting at 800 gold. This is why I said that this Bane could be a really big issue for Team Spirit. Others are going to be starting to scale. Shadow Shaman, what he brings to the table in a fight. Marcy as well, Kari. I see that he has a Blink Dagger ready, which is going to be a relatively good saving tool. But if he wants to scale BKB, these type of items, maybe he thinks he just needs to be something, because they have good amount of saves as well. Later on, Undying picks up the shard. Monkey King can take care of himself. He picks up the shard, and he did, so he can get outside of the arena easily.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Certainly try, and they are setting up bottom. Maybe they're looking for a smoke. Still giving time over for Yatoro to continue to farm in the Muerta, who's going for that Hurricane Pike. Has the full Mjolnir ready to go, but does Yatoro want to get involved? Starting to get these next neutral items. Searing Signet for Kaori. Any curio upgrades on these neutrals?
Searing Signet from Tiny.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It is a lot of damage. Like Tiny, from whatever role, he does play insurmountable because he's playing it as a carry, but still, you use any of the spells, it is going to be way too much damage. And now they are going to smoke. Break. Undying. No ceases thirds for 60.
7 lane now for a second. Coming into, they've got him surrounded. Dead. Shackles though, connecting on a Miposhka. Brain sap, but the toss from a distance. Yuragi gets the kill there, and Navi maybe can go in and use that. Drop Yuragi on the high. But this is Wukong's. Oh, the spear pushed him out of the Wukong's and away for the rest of the team. I mean, I thought they might still fight within that Wukong's if they kept the Tiny close to try and get that first light. By pushing him out, I feel like they just completely avoid it altogether.
They're fine with this. Using Undying, who's going to have his reincarnation ready soon for the next fight. You need to be aware of this. This is something that other teams have utilized nicely. For your fighting around Undying, scout things out Monkey. Now they're already used Boundless Strength. Not getting out of this one.
Now Spirit Vestal on him. Easy dead shot. That's another one. Larl dominating. "20 seconds left on that Aegis. Still Tiny top of the net worth, but you can see Muerta right there. Loses Aegis. You've got Manta Echo Saber. Shackle connecting onto Larl. They actually want to go back the other way.
Teasing wall control on 13 kills.
Another arena by Nari.
Basically a solo kill.
Collapse wants this BKB, and he's actually pretty close to it. Feeling more confident to make those jumps in. BKB next on the list for Draghi as well.
We haven't seen NAVI group up and go 4 or 5 men strong. This is what I would love to see. Maybe for the next Roche. The ages just expired, but I would also love to see Tombstone fight around that Giga Ward. He is getting swept into Spear.
Good blink Spear again. Ward coming over. They've also given themselves this kick forward. Got the lead. Now they'll use the Unleash. They're trying to get the kill to the Lou. Ember Spirit. But he, Sleight of Fist, steering chains, and he is on the run with Collapse, getting in front of Boom as well as Ari. But the Dispose and the Control. Dead as they go for Laurel. The coach got Laurel now. They're right on top. This is where Venomancer struggles. That's 4 dead on the side of Spirit.
That's what I wanted to see. Go 5-man, use Tombstone, use Giga Ward, and fight in that area. They focus down Tiny. Even though he uses Manta Style, he still gets slowed after with Venomancer ulti, unable to move. And I'm really glad that Ari is also realizing that he needs to be the one dealing the damage. He wants to scale. If this game goes late, they are going to outscale them with the heroes that they do have. Shadow Shaman really scales well from position 4 and 4/5, but we're gonna see it again. Tiny got initiated on, and this was the fight with no arena used. But you can see the Tombstone, it's not getting focused. Everybody is super slow. Giga Ward is there. It looks like it's like they have so many zoning tools on side of Navi. With Wukong's command, they can choose where they want to take the fight.
Such a interesting move by Collapse.
Yeah, he got that courier.
Value, I guess. But then look, once you're on top of Larl, yeah, he does a lot of damage, but you can't run. Nothing he could do about that. Shackle connects on Taru. It's the other way, but Ari is here. Unable to catch up to this Ember. Copy. Now let's strike with the shard. He'll jump away.
Mage Slayer is also causing them quite a lot of issues. Venomancer, if he gets hit by 40% reduced damage. Muerta as well. When she uses ulti, like Mjolnir procs, all of that is magic damage, so you're not going to be dealing as much. Now Kiori gets the shard.
Grabs a shard here and happy to have it. Sitting close to where Collapse is in net worth.
It will allow him maybe to get out of the trouble with 3 chickens, and also you can use the items on Shadow Shaman. Might be able to blink out of the trouble, reset one more time.
Just got Undying top. Farming up. Rest of the team not really grouped too tight yet, but they are getting there. He's looking for the BKB on Undying. He's got the pipe, he's got the blade mail.
Pipe is the big one. Pipe Mage Slayer combination. I would say chances of you winning the game with those 2 items, they had quite a lot of magic damage on the enemy side, increased it by like 20-30%. It is insane how much damage reduction it is.
Quick trigger on the Serpent. Deals the dead guy, the Fiend's Grip. Easy combo for the side of Spirit. Nobody there to react on Navi. Still, Larl continues to farm. He wants the Hurricane Pike. He's got a lot of items queued up, but a lot of gold needed. And he's up there in net worth, but he'd love to be farming a little bit quicker. Wants to stay ahead of the curve, get this BKB. But for now, wait a little bit longer. Morta getting into their own BKB. Soon enough. It's going to be an interesting Roche. This Aegis for Na'Vi could really be brutal for Spirit if they don't win this fight.
It could be, especially if Yuragi gets the BKB before they take that Roche fight. So he will have two ways of dispelling things. Getting very tanky on that Tiny. 3.3k HP already.
Setting it up for Roche as it has made the long journey to top. Refresher for Collapse. Blink, BKB, refreshed.
He had Shard coming on the courier to try to land stun. It's good. It's very good against Shaman, good against Monkey King as well. Damage over time, combine that with Venomancer. Still thinking what he needs to buy. Lotus is good protection against Shadow Shaman who jumps in, but other than that, it's really not that great of a Lotus game.
Yeah, he swapped to the Yules now.
Yeah, not too many things to dispel. Yules is overall a better option because you can upgrade that into Wind Waker later on. It is a setup for your spear.
He's been trying to set up these kills, and Rue, Larl, and Collapse are here over top. All while Yatoro is just bottom.
Waiting for that BKB.
Yeah, farming.
Like he wants to have exactly what Yuragi wanted to have for potentially next fight. Get that BKB. But if he doesn't kill himself on the Blade Mail from Undying. Speaking of BKB, 2 more BKBs on Navi.
One for the Mars.
Now they have 4. 4 BKBs 26 minutes in. This is not something you see every day. Lots of fight, lots of mage player.
Another spring, the balance strike is on to Larl. He's going to be called first to buy back into this. Wukong's tombstone all down. Yuragi throw the tree over to the post. Can at least get a 1-for-1.
They can get it pretty heavily for this already.
Searing Chains collapses in. They go to the arena. Turn it around. 27-minute 4 BKBs collapses. They're on top of the Huerta. And controlled hit with that avalanche and gone. They will find Kaorth for a second with December, but now the balance strike connects, and they will get Rue and take out a 4th.
Navi, they have so many rounds of spells, so many like zoning tools where they can choose where to take the fight. What they wanted to do with Mars is push him away from Giga Ward that he used immediately, but Kaori brought back into the fight, and they were relatively patient with their BKBs, knowing that there's relatively limited amount of stuns that they do have. Bane, his grip is going to get interrupted. Morta doesn't have any kind of a stun, so basically what you need to be careful about is when he goes in, drops the arena, and tries to spear you, and immediately all 3 of them inside of the arena pop BKB and immediately kill them.
That's that BKB timing. Insane for man BKB timing. Rare sight, but one that works out so well.
Muertes is the only damage dealer like that's gonna scale Venomancer. I'm gonna say Venomancer got countered with the items that they do have for BKBs, Mage Slayer, plus also having Pipe from the offlane. Which means that a lot of that damage is going to get soaked up. They're going to be in a lot of issues.
Copy. Pretty low on life. He'll survive here. No doubt. Still waiting on Yatoro to feel he's got enough defensively to also continue to fight. Now with that BKB, that'll make the next fight much easier, and almost about to hit that level 20.
2 extra seconds on his ulti could mean a lot. Murta is just full glass cannon hero.
Radiant.
There's a lot of items that are piling up on Navi. Nullifier, which also means that you focus down Ember Spirit. Venomancer with his Ghost Scepter, Hurricane Pike. You might not be getting the value. Sure, you can still use Hurricane Pike, but you need to use it on enemies rather than use it on yourself.
Pushing
not get it nullified. Gale Guard as well. A lot of these things are going to get nullified. So when Monkey goes in, these heroes are also not dying so quickly.
No, not at all. It's a very survivable fight. The longer the fight goes on, especially with the Tombstone down, the harder it's going to get for Spirit.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Blink
under
dagger
attack.
for the Tiny. 14 minutes slower, but the build is
Different. This is
very
Dire
different.
mid Tiny, so he
Radiant's
doesn't
bottom
rush it.
tower has fallen.
Sometimes you see Tiny's picking up Blink Dagger, thinking that they do need it to be able to reposition themselves. It's also very good for defending the high ground. If you don't have it, let's say you have Shadow Blade instead, you can't go for the toss-back play. So this item is always going to be valuable. Later on, you can remove your boots, upgrade the Blink Dagger. We're talking about the super late game, so the Blink Dagger is always going to be good on Tiny. Now they are trying to make something happen. Trying to make that jump. You'll find. It is only position 4, but they're also in a relatively good spot to maybe threaten the high ground.
Yeah, Yuragi right here, ready to go. And force maybe a bad play from Spirit to still this Aegis. Yuragi not afraid to just kind of stand on the front line. He's got Poppy pushing mid. And the rest of the team is also going to join him, surprisingly backing off easily, defended by Spirit. A little shocking that they didn't want to
Radiant's bottom tower is under
maybe
attack.
force it a little bit more. Take this outpost, smoke used. Spirit looking for the right spot. They play the blink into the spear. Hit that fiend scrap and he's dead. Immediately, the outpost. It's not going to last much longer here for the Warriors. They get the kill on Ahri. They'll take out this Marcy, who also has buyback. They hit the Hex. They orient. There's the arena for 5. Available on this weapon at all. Got this now. Rue back into the fight. Rue as well as Larl looking for a way back in, and so is Collapse. He's ready to go with the blink if they can find themselves a searing chain. There's the Rue comes to the balance strike. That's off the mark on the side of his He's going to be dead for 7 seconds. Still working with an Aegis. He falls back into the circle. Yuragi still holding on to that Aegis. Burning up there. The blink down top. Immediately. And they got the kill.
Let's surprise
now in trouble.
to take that fight. Knowing that they're still fighting into Aegis, their damage output is very limited. Without Muerta, he was forced to use BKB immediately. BKB's not going to matter.
Lose that Aegis. Now full health and mana for this Tiny.
Radiant's middle
And they
tower
are
is
right
under
on
attack.
your tier 2 mid.
That was such a nice play from Navi. Taking the enemy outpost immediately, placing down the Observer Ward and Sentry on the high ground, so they have vision, they have Doomstone vision as well in the fight. Plus also Undying. He has been used as a bait. This is the power of Undying with Ceaseless Surge. He runs in and he has TP ready.
And the rebound all perfectly timed. Dead for 75. That is really tough for Spirit. I mean, this has just jumped up to a huge lead for Navi.
Oh, he's hiding. He is on the top. Monkey King did have Wukong's BKB and Nullifier, plus Bashers coming on the courier. Team Spirit, they have way too many issues. They are definitely lacking damage. It doesn't feel like Yatoro can deal enough damage to kill all of these heroes. Sure, you killed one, but you also need to be aware of the buybacks. And again, when this Ceaseless Surge resets in a couple of minutes, this is basically having the free Aegis.
Yeah,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
it'll probably line up with the next Aegis, honestly.
Doctorine Core as well, once to reduce the cooldown of that one.
Shot connects, caught again, but Hoshka dead again.
Kaori has been amazing this game, dropping the Surfer Ward down immediately whenever he sees the opportunity. He's like,
Radiant's
I'm
middle
in position
tower
5,
is
you want to take the
under
fight here? I'll bait you in.
Radiant's structures
And
are
also,
fortified.
not too afraid to use buybacks. I believe this is his second buyback in the game.
Tier 3 tower. That'll go.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Now the mid-center racks.
Radiant's middle
Got the
tower
banner too.
Radiant's
Range
middle
racks first, take the melee racks second, and have yourself at least a lane ready to be pushed innately.
From Nature's Prophet, until with nerf facet in the previous
We
match.
just gave it to somebody else.
Yeah, we just gave it to Shadow Shaman instead. I mean, it was there. We did buff it slightly, but overall, it has been in the game for quite some time. People were choosing the chicken fingers instead.
Now you've got the massive reward to continue to push and make things difficult. Level 20 and 25 are real good levels for the lore of Shadow Shaman if you want to go that route.
They didn't go for hex breaks in this game. There's not too many things to break. Sure, you can break Mars, but I don't think they care too much about it. They do have more than enough damage to take him down, so taking the ward attack range, extra 160, and he could... I mean, on level 20, Shackle duration is really good. If you take the other one, I don't think Serpent Ward is dying anyway.
If you've got the extra range, it shouldn't be that close, right?
Yeah, but still, it's very difficult to kill it. Like, the ward might die when the fight is over, or if they're trying to reset, and then Murta's gonna kill it in 2 seconds.
Radiant are scanning.
But having a 5, almost 6 second stun with Shackle is a lot more value.
It is.
Dire are scanning.
Let's see the option. A throw. He doesn't want bigger AoE. Crippling crossbow is a bit of a man. Maybe just he keeps Serrated Shiv and gets spell lifesteal instead.
Laps goes to the Brawny Outworld staff. And there's the crippling crossbow. Keep me with 2-7 on the high ground. The chase is on the look for They nullify this character. They get the kill in a room. That is 4 heroes dead looking for collapse. And he is free to TP away. Now they already got what they wanted. And they will immediately drop down that massive serpent ward and cluck their way to another bottom set.
There's no buyback available on Murta. I want to see them go in and try to end the game. Sure, there is Mars with the arena. Maybe the sleep could come in handy as well, trying to pull them in with the spear. But they know. They want to fish. See, does Murta have buyback or not? And she doesn't.
That should become apparent very quickly. You don't just give up your tier 4s for free like this.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Ragi almost level 25. He doesn't even need to get to that point. He's a half level away, but they are going to drop down another tombstone. Tier 3 falls top. Still pushing for more. Still 30 seconds without this Muerta, and NAVI are well on their way. 25,000 net worth lead to row. And about to start. Jump forward. They want to get themselves a spear, but they've got the feed strip. They have the control. It's a problem for touch. They need to get out of here. Now his strike with Rue was ready. Not going to be able to get through that BKB.
Now you're playing against Mega Creeps. That's going to be a massive issue. Your heroes don't deal well with Megas. Other than Murta, nobody can really push out the waves so quickly. Mars is okay-ish, but he's not too crazy considering the items that he does have. Collapse did carry pretty heavily the previous fight, and now they're into the Roche, but they go.
Radiant are scanning.
This is important. Especially if Yatoro wants us to buy right here.
There was a nice spear onto Tiny straight away. Did manage to get in. He's getting hex, but he's gonna get multiple rounds of spells. Tiny status resistance did kick in because of the insurmountable, but still can't live. Fighting inside of the arena, multiple heroes, even inside the Wukong's command. Team Spirit did a very good job. This damage over time with Spirit's Vessel, Shiva's Guard, reducing every single heal that they're trying to throw onto pretty much anybody. Now they have a crippling crossbow. Very interesting item choice from Yatoro.
Yeah, goes for that. He's got just 5 minutes though. He took it with the crude as well. Giving him that extra health restoration and the base attack.
He thinks he has enough base attack time and intelligence, but health restoration has been improved. Combine that with his shard with Pierce the Veil upgrade. He does have a lot, sitting at 16 as well. Gonna be life stealing a lot in the middle of a fight.
Ags now for Mapochka, and that honestly, they weren't able to stop the Fiend's Grip in the last fight. This makes it, I honestly feel impossible. So if your Fiend's Gripped,
Radiant's courier
I think
has
you're
been
just
killed.
dead on Navi. So it's gonna be most likely full duration, right?
Yeah, he did manage to farm Aghanim Scepter plus Ether Lens. Mapochka recovering relatively nicely. Still, 2 supports. You see Ahri, Blink, BKB, Crystallis sitting at 2,000 plus gold. He can also be the one dealing with the cores. If he gets initiation on anybody, these heroes are gonna die. Maybe not Muerta, but others can, especially with Monkey King and Nullifier. If these two are paired up together, it could be pretty big.
That magnifying monocle with the mystical on it, cast range for Bane. Oh, that Aether Lens as well, pretty massive. It's pretty far.
It's full screen.
That's what really makes you feel like you're not losing that Fiend's Grip. Speaking of which, he's got the he's on the run. Avalanche and Cyclist Synergize. Still gonna die. They finally come in. He's gonna come through with the Blue Guys. They need the second year too. Gets refreshed. Blue gets the kill to Kaori, and they will take out Yatoro, who now has the
So nice and done. I guess they didn't expect them to take the fight 4v5 or 3v5. Tiny's status resistance again kicked in. That Fiend's Grip is very annoying, but Tiny's sitting at almost 30% status resistance, so remove a couple of seconds off that Fiend's Grip. Now blocking Tiny's damage as well. He gets enfeebled, losing 250 damage. Whew.
That's a lot lost.
It really is.
I don't want to call the lost and found for that. Able to find that damage to take these fights. And you know, for Team Spirit, they're as if they don't get this buyback force from Muerta, I'm gonna assume they just buy out on the Divine. If they can hold the gold.
He might need it. He can sell his Falcon Blade when he's out. That's gonna be good 550 gold. Still doesn't have enough to buy Divine Rapier straight away. There's also Refresher. Refresher Shard, and the Collapse is getting closer to Refresher Orb on his hero. So that's gonna be double Arena, double BKB, potentially getting them speared into the fountain. Now we're seeing some of the issues that they do have, them being 4 melee heroes. So if they want to kill the throne, they gotta get close.
Yeah.
Giga Ward is the only thing that can't kill the throne. And what does he have? Fiori is prepping. Refresher, he knows.
He took the ward HP.
Prepping. Pretty smart.
Now he needs it to survive, because if they can't hit the throne, and that has to. And it is level 3, of course, so ward damage 1440. Just a casual 1400 damage from the Mass Serpent Ward. Which I like. You know, they reuse the name Mass Serpent Wards, or just Mass as in Mass, because it's so goddamn big for that Serpent Ward. Play on words. It's right up my alley.
Let's see if he's going to be able to get it, and he does. He buys out. They have enough time. They do have enough time. Everybody's buying out. Even Ahri, they feel like they have one fight that they want to take and probably try to end the game with it.
Double Mass Serpent Ward?
Double Mass Serpent Ward, Daedalus on Marcy.
Just casually getting rocked around for 2880 with every right click.
So 550, that's 1110. He has enough for the combo, but also doesn't have enough to... He can't use Shackles afterward. Hunter is just straight up dead.
kill team in a heartbeat. Talking about holding up the Divine Rapier, but never even gets a chance to punch it.
Arena.
I cannot believe it.
It was so close. I thought maybe the toss is going to be onto one of the targets. It would be enough to actually finish them off, but it wasn't. And looking at the buyback status right now. Undying sees the surge. He's on buyback, so might come out of this one more time. But the others, they did not have it. They need to reset. They need to not lose the game. But look at this divine rapier. Picked up on Yatoro. We've seen this movie yesterday when they were playing with Medusa, and they managed to make a comeback in that game 3.
What's the win probability? What was the jump on win probability from just that moment? 100 health on the throne! There's one Serpent Lord, and then give me another. But look at the damage copy. Trying to get the Wukong's out, trying to survive.
He was buying quite a lot of time.
Yeah,
he did go all in.
Look at this, the damage from these Serpent Wards, and then there's the arena with the cliff at the same time. Oh, God, Yatoro with a triple kill.
The wards couldn't attack, and they got heavily focused. Look at Yuragi here. I thought he was going to use toss onto something, onto anything, and it would end the game.
Yuragi dies. It's a full team wipe, an ultra kill for Yatoro.
They had the chance. They misplayed. And now let's see if it's gonna cost them going to the playoffs straight away.
Still needs to heal though.
Glyph also not available for almost full 3 minutes. They have Refresher ready in 35. It is no time again. Do not let them get another chance.
Gosh, how do you hold this time?
This is also Refresher used on Yatoro, because Mars gave him Refresher shard from Roche. They did get. He also has his own Refresher.
I'm struggling to see how you defend against that twice now. Sans Glyph. But
Mars has a really tough job. Like, he needs to control this, but he also needs to make sure
the arena
is going to be blocking. And speaking of blocking, he also did buy Crimson Guard, so he wants to defend the throne. He is the throne defender. Collapse? He knows.
He's got buyback though. Uses it immediately. Wow. BKB. Threw off to the side, dusting. The only one who has buyback available is Larl. Oh dear, oh dear. 100 seconds. He's got buyback now. He's got the gold. They picked up the bounty.
Roshan is alive. Roshan's alive. It's time to go for this. There is Refresher, Cheese, Roshan's banner. They can place all these things. They don't have to rush it. Right now, they're also seeing where Larl is. There's Gem on the ground that he can pick up. But Muerta, there is an insane amount of damage that she deals with these items. Divine Rapier, Revenant's Brooch, great against Tiny because he has such high armor. Mjolnir procs, and your Gunslinger with level 25 damage. Every second hit is a proc.
55 minutes into the game. Or sorry, 44 minutes into the game. Didn't minute myself. It was 92%.
Yeah, by every second, my math was incorrect. Like 2 out of 3 hits are gonna be Gunslinger procs.
I wasn't gonna call you out on it.
Because you were not even paying attention to what I was saying.
I was. I can hear and look at the same time, contrary to popular belief. Sometimes I even do fine dining and breathing.
Oh, look at this. Thank God breathing is automatic.
Cheese, Aegis.
Oh no, Navi, what have you done? Glyph is gonna reset in 20 seconds.
And it's gonna be back to full health soon.
They know. You can feel them sweating.
This is... Oh boy. How do you finish?
They're keeping an eye on Glyph. They know that it just came off cooldown.
Transcends expectation.
They're still willing to be out here. Only one hero has buyback for Spirit. That's where the advantage is. Larl level 25. And this is a serpent trying to get the Venomancer. And they get it. So now you have the turnaround is here. The arena's turnaround your option is lost. And they're looking like they're dying. The right short from getting the copy on him. He gets the K off, he'll soul rip it. Now the spear, it also hits Kaori. But they don't kill There was a Serpent Ward used, and that gave them a lot of the damage the last time they went for the throw.
I think they needed to commit heavier onto this Venomancer. Try to get the buyback out, go back, wait until Aegis expires, and now we're in the territory again, like we were yesterday, where there's a possibility that they get the tier 5 neutral items. If you can maybe get the Divine Regalia with Divine Rapier on Huerta, it is an insane amount of damage.
9 minutes to hold on. Mega creeps, and I mean, look at this, just on the edge.
Yeah, Kaori was also
Dire are scared.
failing that fight. He did not want to commit with the shackles. Maybe thinking the rest of the team is going to go in, so he's going to be grabbing some other guy. But Collapse, again, very nice arena, keeping them there in place. And
How does Boom survive here?
Boom survives.
That's
Gets the DK.
crazy.
Manages to live there. Another soul rip.
He is got Ceaseless Dirge back available, so he's technically got a second life. He is level 25, so the extra 50% Flesh Golem strength bonus is what really helped him there. Feeds her from a distance, but where's the follow-up? It goes heavy. Gotta love it from already. They should the BKB. They get the kill paper, they'll take it, they're going over and over. Trying to find out the off-on-wall. Not gonna work out. Look at him go. The buyback. Strike connect. They've got him in the air. They've got him alone. At least the kill on the Aegis.
Yes, refresher. Another ulti ready.
Down to that Serpent Ward. They're trying to get him. They're going Hero. He'll start to hit away at Boom as well as Copy. But there's another Wukong. But do they have the control? The team has Copy standing down. The Run Kaori. Be careful. The boots inside the base. They're starting to hit at the throw, but they got you. Toro the take away. This weapon
picked up Divine.
and the Divine Rapier is picked up. Collapse. Trying
Gonna
to
lose
fight
it here.
Strip again on all your own. Away from him to get the kill. Tiny to take out Ori. The buyback's available on both. It's a dominant hold of the Tiny.
He'll be back with the mine.
Throw
Got the row.
exposed. The creeps were pushing in. Ceaseless Dirt gets used, so Boom doesn't even need to commit. The buyback on that.
Oh, Copy. He did use buyback, but he needs to. They do have buybacks available on Tiny, on Dirt as well, but this Morta, she's doing way too much. Yatro managed to actually blank out of the Wukong's command without getting killed, and then he used that refresher, and now he's level 28. Look at this damage.
That is some big numbers. Minus 12 seconds on the Remnant charge time. Now a lead for Spirit. They're the ones in the driver's seat now, but you always got to be worried about the throw.
Collapse is going in. He knows that he has buyback. He has the boots of travel ready. Better. Out the plan. They want to go for the throne. They want tier 4. They need to use those buybacks, but they don't have them. 3v5.
Oh, they got you! Spear connects. Copy is gone. Collapses in. Boom tries to save the facet and the life of Spirit. He's got buyback.
killing Yatoro. He is the damage dealer, but Rue picks up Divine Range here and then goes hand. He needs to defend the drone as well. It seems like it's gonna be Rue who can come back with the Remnant. He does have Remnant available.
The Grapes
Grapes are
got to hold for so long. There's no way, certainly no way.
Dire's middle tower.
It's just Ori.
Dire's
Too
middle
long. It's 40 seconds, 50 seconds for Monkey. Ari, he smoked himself. BKB ready, ulti ready. Let's see if he can do it.
are fortified.
He needs to find the push gun, but he's the one that does have Feed's grip.
Jumps in.
Doesn't